Hey guys, Jeremy here. I hope you're having a good weekend. The sun's setting just over there. It's a beautiful day in Valor today on the mid-north coast, New South Wales. And there's a roast cooking in the oven. We're just about to finish a great weekend. But I wanted to take some time out to talk to you. And here's a question for you. Well, a few questions. Do you want more friends? Would you like to have deeper relationships? Would you like more intimacy in your life? Well, if you're like me and you're saying yes to all three of those things, then I want to share something with you that I've discovered. And it's the sad thing is it's taken me a long time to discover it. In fact, it's taken most of my life to get to this point. Because I spent most of my life seeking applause from other people, and by applause I don't mean clapping necessarily, but I just mean approval, and I wanted people to like me, and I wanted people to appreciate me for what I did. And I think deep down I really wanted people to like me for who I was. But the problem was, they seemed to like me when I was capable or funny or when I did a good thing or when I was smart, all those things. But I was deadly scared of people really seeing the real me, because I felt, and there's a lot of different reasons for this, but I felt if people saw the real me, they wouldn't like me, they wouldn't accept me. And I think one of the great human fears is the fear of rejection, and that was definitely me. So sadly, I spent most of my life, and I don't know if you can relate to this, but I spent most of my life hiding who I really was and putting on a mask and pretending to be someone else. And that kind of acting, it's really hard work. It's so hard to keep pretending to be someone that you're not. And it takes a lot of effort emotionally, and it just wears you down after a while, because inside there's this great fear that if people really see who you are, they won't like you. So if that's you, I want to encourage you that you don't have to live like that. I came across a quote, and I've been reading a book called Scary Close by a guy called Donald Miller. And this is what he said. I'll put it up. I've written it out for you. He said this. It starts off, he said, "Acting may get you the applause that you want." And that was me. I definitely wanted the applause. I wanted people to appreciate me. But here's the catch. But taking a risk on being ourselves is the only path towards true intimacy. Right? And that's the thing that I didn't get. I wanted true intimacy in my life, but I was so worried about being the real me. And if that's you, then I want to encourage you today that being you and taking off the mask and just being real really is the secret to having a satisfying, happy life with lots of great relationships in it. One of the things that scared me the most, that my dad died not that long ago, a couple of years now, but as I watched him get older, one of the things that scared me was I realized that he had very few, in fact he really had no close friends. And so for me, I looked at that, I'm a lot like my dad, and I looked at that and I thought, man, I just do not want to end up like him with no friends. And what I realized when I looked at him was he was a minister, an Anglican minister, and he worked in a job where it was actually very difficult to be your real self because people had a lot of expectations. I guess similarly, I've worked in other jobs like that where people have massive expectations of me, or at least I felt that. I felt like I had to be better than I was, and I felt like I had to be different to who I was. And those things really kill intimacy when you don't feel free to be yourself. So I want to encourage you today to take off the mask as much as you can. Do it gradually if you have to, but be intentional about it, to let people see a little bit more of the real you. Now, I think it's hard when you're a guy to actually do this, especially if you're a guy in authority or in some jobs. It can be considered a sign of weakness. But here's the amazing contradiction. The more real you are with people, the more they respond to you, and actually the more they respect you. So being real is not just opens the door to intimacy in your relationships, but it also opens the door, I think, to being more influential and to having a better life. And apart from anything else, you can just stop pretending to be someone else. For the women out there, here's an interesting thing for you. Let me just say, guys find women attractive who are not necessarily skinny, not necessarily stereotyped, blonde, busty, all those things. Men find women attractive who are comfortable in their own skin. It helps if you have a sense of humor, but women who are just comfortable being themselves, they are so attractive. And if you're a guy out there, put a note in the comments if you think that's true as well. So try being a little bit more real. Try telling a little bit more of your own story. Try being a little bit more vulnerable. Those times when you're not actually coping that well, try and let people know what's going on inside you. Trade in applause for intimacy by trading in acting for just being the real you. And I guarantee if you do that, you will find better friendships. You actually will have more intimacy. You will find deeper relationships in your life. And ultimately, you're going to find more joy and more satisfaction. So I guess I'm taking a risk telling you this stuff. I want to be more real. I want to be more open. That's my commitment, is to turn up here and just be real with you. Give it a go. And let me know what you think in the comments. Give me some feedback on this. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.